The Nephilim were the giants of primeval times, the Titan terrors of the old days. Known also as the Enochim, they were the offspring of the sons of God, who cohabited with the daughters of men. According to the Zohar, they were so tall that the Hebrews were like grasshoppers in comparison. The Jews say they touched the sun with their necks, and the Muslims say they reached from the sky to the earth. So did the first man, Adam, when he was first formed, blameless and free of sin. Although the Nephilim were a race of half-human half-angels, there were a rare few who were quite unique and superior to the rest. Few who were very close to being full angels, for they possessed the invulnerability and immortality of the angels, and little to none of the weaknesses of mortals. One of these rare few was the great Asmodeus, who had all the strengths and likeness of an angel. He was the son of angel Samael, and the mortal woman, Naamah, the lovely sister of Tubal-Cain, who seduced and led the watchers astray with her beauty. Asmodeus had powerful wings, and could fly about as he pleased. He was a shapeshifter who could transform into any form of any size. He possessed immortality, and could not be harmed by the weapons of men. And he had all other abilities most of his giant brothers lacked. Many know him as the spirit of lust and immorality, but he is also said to have instructed mankind in the art of music, dance, drama, French fashions, and how to invent carousels. Although he could not be harmed by the weapons of men, Asmodeus is said to have one little fear, aside the fear of the supreme God, which all angels have. What was he afraid of? It was the liver of the glanose fish. It is not known whether it was the stench of this fish which disgusted him and made him fear it. But Asmodeus hated this fish and avoided it at all costs. The second of these stronger Nephilim was the demon Ornias, who, in the Testament of Solomon, took half the pay and half the food of King Solomon's chief workmen every day, until he was bound by Solomon, along with many other demons. Like Asmodeus, Ornias was by all means a full-fledged angel, and although he could not be killed, he had only one fear: the fear of iron, for it burned his skin. In the Testament of Solomon, Ornias is said to be the son of the archangel Uriel. Another one of these stronger Nephilim was a Beelzebub, the demon of the Red Sea, and son of the fallen angel, Beelzebul. Being a fierce and formidable spirit, a Beelzebub was said to be the guardian angel of ancient Egypt, who excited the hearts of the Egyptians, and led them to pursue the children of Israel. He would be trapped underneath a mighty pillar, in the depths of the Red Sea, when the sea rolled over, and drowned the vast Egyptian army. For the rest of the Nephilim, who possessed the mortality and weaknesses of humans, they could be maimed and killed. And they were killed, not by men, but by themselves, for they lived no longer than 500 years, and killed off each other during the great war of the Nephilim, while their fathers were made to watch the massacre, before they themselves were stripped of their heavenly ranks, and sentenced to be bound in chains, for 70 generations. Bound in the everlasting chains of darkness, the watchers remained silent, waiting till the day of judgment. One of these mortal Nephilim is perhaps Cain, the brother of Abel, whom the Christians say is the first son of Adam and Eve. In Kabbalah and in the Zohar, however, Cain was not truly born of the seed of Adam, but of the seed of a fallen angel, who came with a serpent to the first woman. It is said that the angel came to Eve, riding on a snake, and spoke through the serpent, tempting the innocent Eve, and injecting the seed of sin into her. Cain became the result of that temptation, the outcome of sin. And so, from Cain, descended all impurities and evil doers, for he was fathered by one of the fallen, who were well versed in all sins imaginable. This is perhaps the reason Cain showed no reverence to the Hebrew God, for he came from one of those who would rather see themselves as gods. The Zohar said he was different from the rest, much stronger than his brother, Abel, and the latter stood no chance against his attack, for he was of half-divine parentage. The giant, Goliath, chief soldier of the Philistine army, is possibly another of the weaker Nephilim. He would be slain by the little David of the Hebrews. In one of the 7 Dead Sea Scrolls, called the Genesis Apocryphon, there is a story about Noah being one of the Nephilim. In this story, Lamech suspected his son, Noah, of being one of these hybrids, and accused his wife of having sexual relationships with the fallen angels. It was not because Noah was unnaturally large or strong, but because as soon as he was born, he started conversing with the angels and with the Lord, and his likeness was in the likeness of the angels of heaven. Lamech's wife of course denied the accusation, swearing by the King of the worlds. Yet Lamech would not be convinced. And so, he went to his father, Methuselah, for enlightenment, and Methuselah in turn appealed to Enoch for the truth. It may never be known what Enoch told Methuselah as to whether Noah was one of these hybrids or not, for this is where the Genesis Apocryphon breaks off.